Hello, my name is Rajan Arora and welcome to my course Essentials of SQL Server Performance for Every Developer. You are watching this video of Module 3 Building Effective Indexes Part 5 Index Selectivity Explained. If you are new to this course, please start it from the course introduction video for better understanding. Thank you. The second factor that governs how effective an index will be is the selectivity of the index. And selectivity is simply a way of saying how many or how few rows there are in the table for each key value in the index. For our indexes to be used by SQL Server and to be effective at speeding up the performance, we want our indexes to be as selective as possible. That is, each value of the index key should only correspond to a few rows in a table, or perhaps even only one row. Let's see why this matters. We know that when SQL Server uses an index, it traverses the tree structure of the index to finding the matching keys in the index. When it finds the matching key or keys, it will read from the index the value of the row identifiers for the rows that matches those index keys. In a typical table, these row identifiers are just the primary key values of the matching rows. Then SQL Server takes this row identifier and look up the actual rows in the table, which, as we have talked about, is usually another tree structure called a cluster index. So, if the index is selective, we will only find a few matching values in the index that we have to look up in the table. So, we are doing a small number of I/O operations overall. But what if our index isn't very selective? What if for the index key we look up, we get back several thousand matches? Well, then we are going to have come over to the table and look up each and every one of those rows. So that is several thousand times we are going to have to look up data in this table. And since our data is probably randomly distributed throughout the table, we are going to end up reading most, if not all, of the pages in the table anyway. So in this case, it is actually more efficient for SQL Server not to use the index and just to read the entire table anyway. This way, SQL Server doesn't have to incur the I/O of reading the index, because the index isn't really helpful in terms of narrowing down what data SQL Server needs to find. When we say that we want our indexes to be selective, what we are really saying is that we want them to really help SQL Server target exactly where the data is that we need to find. And to do that, we want our indexes to have a high number of unique key values compared to the total number of rows in the table. Let's jump into Management Studio and look at some example of this. I have created the index at the top of the screen on the students table, and I am going to run the query that's at the bottom of the text editor. But before I do, I am going to give you some statistics about the students table. There are about 1,20,000 rows in the students table. And in terms of unique first and last name combinations, there are about 1,07,000 of those. So we can tell from those numbers, the combination of last and first name, that is index, is a pretty selective criteria. While we do have multiple students that have the same first and last name, overall this criteria is pretty unique. The calculation that SQL Server does internally in its statistics to determine selectivity is more complex than a simple ratio. But this ratio gives us a good idea of how unique the values in this index are. And I find that for everyday use, this simple ratio works pretty well. So, we would expect that SQL Server would use this index when it executes the query that we see. We will get the execution plan to see that indeed that is the case. And so we see here that SQL Server is doing an index seek operation against that index. So indeed, our index is being used. If I mouse over the index seek operation, you see that SQL Server is expecting about 25 values in the index would match this criteria. And again, SQL Server is calculating this value based on the statistics it has on the table and on the index. So, its calculation is more sophisticated than our simple ratio. But this is what SQL Server is expecting to happen. Then it's going to come down to this key lookup operation and look up each one of those rows, and if we mouse over the key lookup operation, we again see that value that's about 25 in terms of the number of estimated executions. So at this threshold, SQL Server has calculated that using the index is the right decision because performing the estimated 25 lookups on the table is going to be much faster than reading the entire table. Now, if we run this query, we did actually get back 4 rows of the data. So, this lookup operation actually would be executed 4 times, not 25 times. The point is, though, that the lookup operation is only executed a handful of times and we only need to read a few data pages from the table, so we are being very targeted in the data that we read, which is what an index is supposed to give us. Let's look at the different situation though when we don't have a selective index and see what SQL Server does in that situation. If I go over to this other tab that I have here, we see again that we have another index on the students table that I have created. And this index is just over US states. Run the query that you see here in the bottom of the text editor. And what that's going to do is it's going to look up all the students that live in Appleton, Wisconsin. Remember, we have about 1,20,000 rows of students in the table. And in terms of states abbreviation, there are actually 52 distinct values in our students table. So we have the 50 states, the District of Columbia, and maybe we have some students from Puerto Rico and another US territories. If we divide 1,20,000 rows by 50, we get about 2400 matches per index in this case. Now, this max isn't perfect because, of course, there are some states like California where proportionately we are going to have many more students than in the small states like Wyoming. But for a rough estimated to start with, what this is telling us is that for having an index just on the state column, it is not going to be very selective because we are actually going to get about 2400 students back. So let's go ahead and get the execution plan of this query and see what SQL Server does with this statement. What we see here is that SQL Server actually isn't using this index on the state column in the query. And that is because when SQL Server look at its statistics, we would be getting a lot of matches back from that index. And when you read all of those matches out of the index and then go and look up all of those values in the table, that actually was going to be more expensive than just reading the entire table direct. So SQL Server not using our index is really telling us that in SQL Server's eyes, the index isn't that helpful because it's not selective enough. Now, you might say that I am not sure I believe that. I think that the index would still be more efficient. So, what I am going to do is I am going to force SQL Server to use the index on this table. And I am going to demonstrate to you that actually the SQL Server Optimizer has made the right choice here. So, to do this, I am going to modify our query to use a database hint, and what this hint is going to do is going to tell SQL Server that I want to use that index. And normally, I strongly recommend that you avoid using hints in your application. As today, the SQL Optimizer included with SQL Server is very good, and it's almost always come with the correct answer in the most efficient way to execute any statement. In 99.9% of the cases today, the SQL Optimizer comes with the right answer. So the only way I could use a hint in a production application is if it was instructed to do so by Microsoft support, or I want to demonstrate something like I am going to do now. So we have our hint in there, and now once again I am going to get our estimated execution plan, and we see now a SQL Server is using the index. But if we mouse over this index, we see that SQL Server thinks that it is going to get back from the index over 2300 matching rows. And if we go down to the key lookup operation, once again we are going to have to look up 2300 different values in that table. And this is going to turn out to be very expensive. In fact, then just scanning the entire student table. I did run both versions of this query prior to recording. One without the hint and one with the hint. So I could summarize the stats and show them to you, which I am doing here. What you can see here is that by forcing SQL Server to use the index, that indeed is more expensive. And what this is driven by is the fact that by just having the index on the state column, that is not selective enough. So, if we force SQL Server to use the index, it's actually having to read and process more data than if it just reads the entire table directly. This is an important point. Many times someone will create the index and they think that the index they created is going to speed up the things. But when they look, SQL Server isn't even using the index. As we are seeing in this case, SQL Server is making the right decision not to use the index because using the index would be more expensive, and the reason why is because of selectivity. Because SQL Server has to read a large part of the index and then conduct a large number of lookup operations, that's accounting for roughly 3500 extra logical IOs that have to be read and processed by SQL Server. So the answer here is we need to make our index more selective. So let's do that. We are going to go ahead and drop this index, and then we are going to create a more selective index, which is both over state and city. In terms of unique combinations for city and state together, there are about 13,000 of rows. So we are in a much better place in terms of selectivity for this index. So let's get this created. Now we will go ahead and get the execution plan again for our query. And actually, we have to get rid of our hint in order to make this work because that index does not exist anymore. And we see now with this more selective index, SQL Server is able to use the index because we see this index seek operation here. If we mouse over this, we see now SQL Server is expecting to get back about 20 rows. In reality, it's actually going to get a few more than that. But because this index is more selective, it's something that can be used by SQL Server because we are doing a better job of targeting the data that we want. One of the takeaways from this is that if we have a column that's not very selective by itself, that doesn't mean that we can't use the column in the index. It means that we probably need to be using that column in conjunction with other columns in our index. And if we need to make sure that the combinations of column together is selective. Selectivity is really important concept when we start looking at our indexes and the where clauses of our statements. So let's look in the next video at some other ways in which selectivity matters. If you like this video, please do share, like and subscribe to my channel for more such videos. Thank you and see you in the next video.